Searching for the light, been learning to fight through the darkness. I'll get this right, we were born to shine and we still got time, it's not hopeless. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling, my walls are caving in. Heaven help, I can see my ghost on the ceiling. Let me breathe again, 'cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down, I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right, I'm ready for it now. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. Lost my crown, but no, I will not bow. You know I'm here.
Hello and welcome back to FM Royal 2026, organized by the Radio Club of Royal College and the Media Unit of Royal College. You might be tuning in through 107.3, the fmroyal.live website, or the FM Royal app, which is available on Play Store and the App Store. Or you might be watching us live through YouTube on the FM Royal YouTube channel, the Merc Live FB page, the Merc Live YouTube channel, and the Radio Club of Royal College YouTube channel. Today, we have a very special segment and a very special guest at FM Royal. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I shall do. My name is Max. I run Kurt's Code. It's a page where I look at rugby around the world, where it's come from, where it's being built, and where it's doing some good for the world. And I heard about Sri Lanka. I came last year, and it was so good I had to come back. So here I am. Right.
So what brings you to Sri Lanka this time?
Obviously the Bradby Shield this weekend. I was at the first leg. When I first came to Sri Lanka a year ago, I watched Royal Trinity at Pallekele. All anybody said to me was, you need to come back for Bradby. And my first question was, what was that? I saw some videos of games in 2002 and before, and everything I saw said that I need to come back and see it. And so I waited a whole year. I planned for this, and yeah, we're back.
Right, so as you got to know what the Bradby Shield encounter is, what's your general opinion about this encounter? What do you feel about the Bradby Shield encounter?
Yeah, I think it's an incredible fixture. And I've said before, I think it's like a metaphor for Sri Lankan rugby in itself. This is two historic teams. There's a chunk of tradition behind it. There's two schools that date back hundreds of years. A fixture that's in its 80th year this year. It's a historic game, and I think even if you saw a one-off leg, you'd still think, this is incredible. Before knowing about the game, you arrived to Royal Complex, you arrived to Pallekele, and the the atmosphere, and everything about the game says it's something to be seen. And I think the rest of the world should see the game, and that's what I'm here to do.
So you were present at the first leg for the 80th Bradby Shield encounter.
Of course.
So after witnessing the match, after witnessing the scores, what's your general opinion about the first leg of the 80th Bradby Shield
First leg.
encounter?
Well, I didn't go in blind. I knew Trinity had an unbeaten season. I knew they put some numbers on Royal in their league match, so it was people thought it was going to be one-sided. The first half was a bit different, and we thought we had a bit of a game on. Yes, Trinity ran away with it, and like people thought they would, but I've seen the Royal team play. I've spoken to their coaches. I've seen them train. I know the ethos behind them, and after visiting your school and seeing what rugby means to you, I can imagine they're going to come into the second leg with some. They're going to come in. They're going to come in hard, aren't they? They're not going to give it to Trinity easy, and I think it's going to be a close game.
We'll see about that this Saturday at the 80th Bradby Shield encounter, second leg held in Kandy. So, when talking about the Bradby Shield encounter, at the end of both legs, what do you think the outcome would be? Who would emerge as the champions, securing the Bradby Shield?
It looks like it's going to go Trinity's way. I can't lie. They've got a 23-point advantage. But as I said, if the first game matters for anything, and if the past Bradby encounters mean anything, it's anyone's game. And if we go into half time with Trinity 14-0 up, suddenly it's a 9-point game and everything's to play for. And I sincerely hope that Royal show up on Saturday, and I hope that I can show the world and Royal can show the world that they're a squad to be reckoned with. I really hope we go into the final 10 minutes with a game on our hands.
Right, so a trick question. Could you take a guess on the final score?
So what do we stand at now? 33-10?
33-10. Trinity leading.
I'm going to go 45-38. Let's say that.
And the winner would be?
Trinity.
Trinity. Well, let's see if that happens this Saturday at the second leg of the Bradby Shield encounter. Right, so moving ahead from Bradby and talking about the rugby culture across the world. So you've experienced what the culture is like here in Sri Lanka, especially schools rugby. So compared to the rugby culture in England, which is where you're from, and Sri Lanka, what sort of a vast difference do you feel? What sort of similarities? Or when you compare them, what could you tell about that?
I think the big difference is that in England, the hierarchy of rugby doesn't end at schoolboy level. So in Sri Lanka, from what I've been told, schoolboy level is everyone's dream. It's the legacy you leave behind. It brings in the biggest crowds. In other countries where the highest level you can get to, if you ask a kid what level they want to play or what their dream is, they'll say, I want to play international rugby. Whereas in Sri Lanka, if I ask anyone in this room their dream, it would be to play in the Bradby Shield, which to other countries it's unheard of for a schoolboy fixture to mean that much to a community and to players. So I think the difference with schoolboy rugby is that this fixture in particular, and the league itself, it brings in eyes, it brings in sponsors. It's where the money is. It's where the fame and as I said, the legacy are for the players, and all of that culminates in these fixtures being like, these players are dying to win these fixtures. They're putting their bodies on the line. If you ask the Trinity squad, I think 4 or 5 of them are playing without ACLs, and one of them I saw in the day before the game, he's dislocated his shoulder, and he said, put me in, I'm playing tomorrow. Which is, again, in England you just don't see that kind of thing, and I've seen rugby all around the world, in over 15, 20 countries, and Sri Lankan rugby is the one where schoolboy rugby lives and breathes, and I think it's got the best culture I've seen around the world. It's really cool.
Right, so we talked about the rugby cultures, we talked about rugby in Sri Lanka, but what was your journey when you were little, coming up through this field of rugby?
My rugby journey, I started playing at 3 years old. So I played for a lot of years now, and I did all right in England. I played at university, and then I knew I wanted to experience rugby abroad. I'd played a year in New Zealand, which I would say is the year that changed my life and changed my rugby trajectory. I saw what the game was like, where, not where it was born, but where the rugby culture in New Zealand is incredible. I experienced that for a year, and I thought, if I can find this in New Zealand, what can I find in Australia, Hong Kong? And that led to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Palestine, Oman. It's a journey that's taken me from playing at quite a high level around the world to now documenting it abroad, and it's not a normal journey, but it's one that I've loved, and I don't know where it's going to go next, but we'll see. Right,
so being in Sri Lanka, it's a completely different atmosphere to the European countries.
Yeah.
How would you describe the experience you had in this island, in Sri Lanka?
In Sri Lanka as a whole?
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love the people of Sri Lanka. I wouldn't be back for the third time if I didn't love this country. I've been between Colombo and Kandy multiple times, and yeah, the reception I've had at Trinity College, Royal, with the Tuskers, it's been incredible. Everybody's opened their arms to me, and everybody's let us bring a camera into their world, which we don't. Me and Rahan, we don't take lightly. It's a privilege to bring a camera into these places and document what's going on. Even this morning, watching the principal give an address to the players, I understand that I'm in a position that not many people get put in, and it's yeah, go for it. Sorry. As I said, it's a privilege. Everybody's opened their arms to me, and it's a country full of brilliant people and a rugby culture as well. So I love it.
Right, so you talked about it's being a privilege to come here and document rugby.
Yeah.
Now, Royal College is a school, it's a leading boys' school in Sri Lanka. So what do you have to say about the culture in Sri Lanka, especially in Royal College? What's your experience like in this school?
So my Sri Lankan rugby story pretty much started with Trinity. I met Tarindra Ratwatta at a training session, and we did an amazing interview with him, and he mentioned a few things about Trinity College. So that was my in to Sri Lankan schoolboy rugby. I knew Trinity had a history and a tradition, and yeah, for a year I planned to come and show what that school was like. When I did that, the reception I got was that you need to see more than Trinity. You need to see Isipitana, you need to see St Thomas, and then in the Bradbury Shield, Royal as well. And after the first leg, I was speaking to Royalists and Royal fans, and they said, you need to learn a bit more about the history of our school. And people were saying, Trinity's not the only school with this rich history, and in fact, Royal's an older school than Trinity, and it has the same deep-rooted rugby values and traditions. And even walking around with the prefects today, seeing the quadrangle, seeing kids playing touch on a volleyball court, you can see where that begins. And yeah, it's been, again, I've said incredible too many times, but it's been a special experience. And yeah, I want to thank you boys for having me.
Amazing. So for my last question, we just randomly met and we brought you on to the studio.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about FM Royal?
FM Royal. I can tell you about my experience walking in here. So yeah, I've been led by you. I flew in last night. I've arrived at Royal School, and my good friend has said, you should come and see our studio. I thought I was going to walk into a room with 2 chairs, 1 camera, 1 light. You might not be able to see it, but there's about 40 boys behind that camera. This is the most professional studio I've ever been in, and for this to take place in a school is incredible. I think you boys are doing some really cool stuff. I'm jealous that you boys get to experience this in school. This is really cool. I think you should be proud of yourselves and what you've created. Yeah, it's great.
Right, thank you very much. So as we end this special segment in anticipation of the second leg of the 80th Bradbury Shield encounter, joining us today was Max Curtis. Thank you very much for taking your time and taking part in this interview. Stay tuned with FM Royal on fmroyal.live, the FM Royal app, the FM Royal telecasting channels on YouTube, and 107.3. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for the next episodes.
Thank you.